Hey everyone, this is Two Girls One Quick Look of We Become What We Behold. Warning, the following program contains scenes of snobbery, rudeness, and mass murder. Viewer discretion is advised. Mm-hmm. So, we haven't played this yet, so we don't know what political message is being forced on us today. My name is Mari.
I'm Stacy.
Play.
Squeaky, squeaky. We become what we behold. We shape our tools, and then our tools shape us.
Marshall McLuhan.
Misattributed.
Ah, get it? Do you get it, Stacey?
Do you get
it? Social commentary. Oh, point and click.
Just some normal peeps.
Hashtag. Oh, so I didn't get good news. That's what it is. All right. I wonder if we take a picture of the one that looks different. Yeah.
Dun, dun. Ooh, nice hat. All the little people. Oh!
I like the sound effects.
Yeah, so do I. Ooh. Oh! We got new hats.
I wonder what happens if we take a picture of these people, but with the hats.
Gross. Go get a room.
So we got love shaming.
Aww. Uh-oh. You gotta catch him doing something interesting.
But he's already mad.
No. You gotta catch him doing
Looks like a feminazi to me.
Gotta catch him doing something bad. No.
I just want to take a picture of the cricket.
Never mind. Hats aren't cool anymore.
Because I took a picture of someone without a hat.
Aww.
Aww. I feel like I'm so responsible.
Crazed square attacks.
Oh, because there's squares and
circles.
This shit is deep, dude.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Well, what are they gonna do? Get scared of the squares?
They're just scared of the squares.
Nice.
Circle fears squares. Oh, I get it.
Yep. I get it.
So basically, we're
this is our interpretation, by the way. Just so just like.
But my interpretation is that we are creating a narrative. The news is taking these individual snapshots to create a narrative that may or may not.
Or it might be creating a narrative that becomes true because people see it.
Yeah.
And so I think what this game is about is like the social responsibility of content creators.
That's why it's called We Become What We Behold. Get it?
Yeah, I feel like this also applies to YouTube content creators.
Squares, snubs, circles.
I just feel like it really...
Uh-oh. What are these nerds doing now?
Well, I feel like if I do a bad job... Oh, a cricket.
Huh, you see that little...
Wait a second.
Aww. Who tunes in to watch people get along? See? Damn. I was gonna say, whenever we do good stuff, it's like...
Nobody shows up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what's this guy gonna do?
Follow him.
Uh-oh.
Peace is boring. Violence goes viral.
Hmm.
Hashtag deep.
Oh, I like how they took the two positive people and, like, ruined it, being like, oh, you should be ashamed.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get this guy to see if this guy's gonna yell at anyone. Ooh, just missed it.
Circles hate squares.
Oh.
We've created a war.
Oh no! Sorry. Sorry, I failed at starting a circle square war.
Ah! Circles hate squares. I like how it gives them a hashtag too. Oh my god, we got more angry people now?
But we still got this one dude who's just hanging out, being happy.
No. We have to make everybody
Remember
angry.
when this square dude was
No.
mad?
No.
Remember?
Everyone's angry now.
No, I'm taking a picture of this.
It's not gonna work.
No, it's too bad. I'll let myself burn. I wonder if it calms people down. No.
No.
Just the cricket. Oh, I keep accidentally only covering
Circles.
hating squares.
Wow, Mari. Really?
I don't know, man. Maybe it's like a matter... Oh, what's this? Protesters?
Yeah. And every story needs a conflict, so they're protesting against all these circles hating squares.
Or this... Well, yes.
You've only shown circles hating squares,
All right,
Mari.
Stacey, you're in charge now. Let's see if you can do better. Here, no, it's your turn now. Wow, you got some squares hating circles.
Almost everyone hates everyone.
So I really think that, like, you know, they're covering a certain amount of, like, social responsibility when you're reporting the news, but I think it's also saying that, oh, there weren't any problems before people pointed this out, but when really there were actually a lot of problems. I just want to say that.
Well, it's not that they're... Okay.
No, I get it. Like, I'm just pointing out, like, it's really hard to cover an entire social issue with a video game. And I get what they're saying. There is social responsibility with how you report the news and why it is important. It's just that, like, these issues did exist before, and, like... But also, like, I get what they're saying, you know?
I think it kind of depends on the issue. There are some times when... I think what they're more trying to say is, like... They took this issue that exists, but is not widespread, and made it seem as if, you know, it was everything, you know?
I just feel like in this particular circumstance, it's like... I think we should just focus on the fact that they're saying, be more responsible with how you report the news.
Because in this one, there was only one person that was angry. Do you remember? Before we started taking pictures and
then
reporting.
someone gave them love. I know. It's just, I feel like this game's not covering... It's covering a very small aspect, which is something that should be talked about. And it's also, like, not covering the larger aspects of that certain thing, so...
Well, I feel like it's important to focus on, like, what they're actually talking about is whether or not people hate each other. Like...
I don't... This game, like, I feel like it's saying, like, oh, well, these race issues or trans issues or gay issues...
See, that's not what I thought this was talking about at all.
I think it's talking about recent events.
Yeah. Be scared, be angry. See, the thing that I think that this is trying to say is that when you hype people up to be scared and angry at each other, then they will. Like, it's okay to point out that there are, like, issues. And there are issues, but I think that,
I get what they're trying to say, I just don't want to ignore the fact that the issues do exist, even without media.
See, I didn't think that this was talking about racism.
Well, you know what I mean? Any sort of, like, anything.
I thought this was talking about more, like, see, you're thinking of it from racism from, like, the other, like, the flip side. I'm thinking of it talking...
Okay.
I'm not thinking about saying, like... I'm not thinking this is talking about... It's hard to describe. But I think we're talking about it from opposite ends of the racism issue.
I think that...
Like,
I wanted to validate that, you know, there really are racial issues going on, and there are civil rights problems happening in America, and there is a social responsibility for the news to not hype each other up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think it's 100% the news cycle's problem. I mean, fault. You know what I mean? The news cycle was one contributing factor to an overall problem. Well, that's all I'm saying.
Here is where I think that there ends up being an issue, is that it's one thing... The thing about the news is that it's one thing to, like, report on what's happening. Mm-hmm. It's another thing to be scared, be angry, like, fear each other, because they have to wrap a narrative around it. Mm-hmm. And when people report just, like, the straight, like, here's what's happening, like, here's what we can do about it, like, that doesn't sell clicks, you know?
Right.
So they have to put some sort of, like, salacious headline on it to get people to read it, and that gets them more money. It's kind of like you have whole news networks that are dedicated to just selling a narrative that, like, everything is horrible and awful.
I also feel that the news cycle and other people who are higher up in power and influence actually have, like, some responsibility. I feel like in recent events, there have been major YouTubers who have been jokingly saying things, and our president did say certain things, where people who have fringe beliefs, extreme fringe beliefs, think that, oh, well, major YouTubers and our president are basically acting in a way where it's, like, okay, and then they come out and people are like, oh my god, and then it just cycles, and I think that, you know, there should be, not should, but I feel like maybe content creators, even on YouTube or on Twitter and stuff, gotta be a little bit more conscious of their content. Mm-hmm. But obviously I can't force anyone to do that, and everyone has their own choices, but, you know, maybe reflect on what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice job, Patreon supporters. I liked this. It was really well done. I just wanted to, like, validate that there's more dimensions, and they did a really good job explaining that concept in the terms of a video game narrative. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like this game did a really good job using video games as an interactive medium of expressing an idea, which is something that I don't think a lot of developers use in AAA games in the mainstream. So congratulations to Nikki Case for making such a really well-made game that showed an idea by letting the player themselves follow the rules in which media is created so they can understand why that happens. Leave a comment. Don't be an asshole. Bye. Or what do you want to do? You want to take a picture of the lovers? Hey, Stacy made a really good point about making sure that we sat and thought about it for a minute so we don't miss any important
So that we don't miss some points. And by the way, we are not trying to make this like an all-encompassing video on this political issue, so obviously we will miss some things. So
and the video game's extremely vague, so who knows? We could be getting it all wrong, so...
And so you should feel free to add your own points and discussion in the comments if you like. So...
But be polite.
Please be polite.
No name calling. No slurs. Don't strawman anyone. Just try your best. If you're a Nazi, sorry, bye.
Yeah. So...
No calling for eugenics and no calling for ethno-states.
Oh my god.
Okay, if you believe in an ethno-state, no. Okay, now you're fine.
All right. I think... Okay, so one thing that I noticed while Mari and I were having the discussion during the game is that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong in summarizing this, but this is what I had mentioned before, was that I was looking at it from this news cycle perspective of like, hey, we take a picture of this one instance and you can either say this means that this instance is more widespread or it's less widespread. And I think that Mari was talking about it from the perspective of like, hey, there are actual social issues. And so sometimes when the news spotlights a social issue, like for instance, racism.
Or transphobia, homophobia, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
But we're just going to say racism.
We're just going to say racism for the purposes of this example. That when it spotlights the issue, it's saying, hey, this is a problem and this single instance is indicative of a larger problem. The way that I was looking at it was, like, how I interpreted the game was you could take, like, a single instance, like, say, you know, a Muslim terrorist, and the news can either treat that as, here is a single instance, or it can treat it as, all Muslims are terrorists, which is not true.
Yeah, there's, like, billions of Muslim people in the world.
And the way that I understood this game was portraying it was kind of, hey, we can take this single instance and make it seem like this problem is like way bigger than it really is, or that it somehow translates to the larger population when maybe it doesn't. And you know, for instance, if you're taking a spotlight on like racial violence, then the news can make that seem as if like everybody hates each other when that's not necessarily true.
Yeah, I think an example, and this is Mari talking, is like, not all white people are Nazis, obviously. Like, 0.01% of white people are Nazis, or whatever. White nationalists, or whatever. I don't know what the words are.
Well, and the news can either take that to be like, hey, this is a serious... You can either present it as, this is a serious problem that needs to be taken care of, or you can present it as, literally all white people are Nazis. Like, there are two ways, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I would also say when the news presents some violence committed by a minority, I feel like sometimes it's saying, like, okay, well, the minorities are a problem, or immigrants are a problem, or this and this and this are a problem, when really...
people are problems in every...
And no matter who they are.
Yeah.
Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, gay, straight... trans, like...
There's murderers of every stripe, but that doesn't mean that every, like, trans person is a murderer or whatever.
Yeah, so it's just... It's impossible. Not all feminists are TERFs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just... You gotta... There's no right way. It's impossible. So... Basically what I'm saying is, it's impossible to do it right, but do your best to get as close to correct as you can.
Yeah, so we just wanted to add the short thing at the end of the video because I felt like there were additional points that we wanted to articulate, and obviously, you know, we could go on for hours about this issue and still not encompass everything.
I think that this game did exactly what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it makes you reflect on your own choices. I just brought up YouTube because I feel like a lot of the discourse between quote unquote real people happens in YouTube videos where you have people who are extremely conservative, and then you have people who make counterpoints to those videos about why that's not right, and then people go counterpoints to that, and everyone's like, ha ha, drama, but it's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like these, like, really weird videos on YouTube kind of reflects the opinions of a lot of people. I don't know. I've lost my train of thought.
Well, the interesting...
I'm just saying, on YouTube even, you should try to be responsible for the things you think about and say. Yeah. Not think. Sorry, I'm not a thought police yet.
Not thought police. But, the way that you treat other people and, actions matter even if they're just on the internet, quote unquote.
Yeah. So, like, let's say you're somebody and you accidentally say something without thinking. It's okay to make a mistake, but...
You apologize and you try to make yourself behave better.
And I'm talking about myself, not anybody that might have popped into your head.
Agreed.
I'm talking about me.
I'm going to go out there on a limb and say that just, like, from the time that we've been doing the channel, like, I've been called out by people for saying things that hurt their feelings.
Me too.
We've both been called out. We've been doing the channel for 4 years. We've both learned a lot about... And it's not even that you're necessarily trying to, like, you're out to hurt people, but, like, when people say, like, hey, like, that hurts my feelings, or, like, that word has, like, a meaning that you may not be taking into consideration, you do yourself a favor by listening to it and trying to be better in the future. So
I feel like that kind of pressure that kind of responsibility is higher for the more subscribers you have.
Yeah, and I'm glad we figured it out
early on. Can you imagine now? Oh God.
Well, that's why it's like whenever I look at all these, like, YouTubers that are, like 20 years old, and I'm like, thank God I didn't have a YouTube channel when I was 20. Oh
yeah, like garbage. I would have been a garbage YouTuber.
I was a garbage person. So
yeah, so it's okay to make mistakes, but I'm not.
We're like, when we talk about these things, like, we are not talking about it from a place of thinking that we don't make mistakes, because we definitely do. You just try to, like, apologize and move forward. And I know that there have been times where, like, people called me out on stuff and I got defensive, but I really...
Me too. I've gotten defensive too.
And I try very hard not to do that now, because...
it's you versus 150,000 people. So
yeah.
It's like, no matter what you say, some people are going to be upset and they're going to express it because you're a safe person to express those feelings of frustration in their life to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you might have emulated something that actually happened to them and they don't feel safe enough to actually face the person who did that to them, but they feel safe enough to say it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people get mad. It's just, that's a lot of weight to bear for one person still.
So, anyways, I hope that this further clarified the points that we were trying to make in the actual video, and sorry that this ended up going so long. I hope that you appreciate our effort, and we will talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Thank you.